Hello YouTube, Crazy Robot Lady here, and today we are going through another 2XL tape in the Choose Your Own Adventure story vein. Today we are dipping back into a TV show that was very popular on the kids channel Nickelodeon in the early 90s. I don't know how long it lasted. It seems like it went forever, like 8 seasons at least. But anyway, I'm so sorry guys. I don't know why I'm yawning. I'm not tired. Anyway, the show is called Are You Afraid of the Dark? And features 3 children, teenagers, who apparently met at night around a campfire and discussed these very strange stories. It was a slightly creepy show at times, but that was the kind of horror I could handle, so I actually watched a good bit of Are You Afraid of the Dark back in the day. And another thing I would like to mention is this is a pirated copy of this tape that I recorded myself from archive.org, because otherwise, if you bought it, if you tried to purchase this thing, it would be in the hundreds of dollars. Thanks to Larry T. Gross for his editing help. And with that out of the way, I think we can begin.
Hi, I'm Gary. Welcome to this special meeting of the Midnight Society.
I'm Samantha. And I'm Betty Ann. As you know, we all get together around our campfire in the woods because we have one thing in common. We love scary stories.
Today, we're going to try something different, and we need your help.
You're going to hear a story, but guess what? You can control what happens.
In fact, you can make your first choice right away. Just press a button when you hear me say the word now. Who do you want to introduce the story? Me, Samantha, or Betty Ann? Press 1 for me, Gary. Press 2 for Samantha. Press 3 for Betty Ann. Press 1, 2, or 3 now.
I'll go with 3. Why not?
Sometimes, when it's really dark outside and there's no moon, all kinds of things could be hiding there and watching you.
What kinds of things?
Bad things. Creatures. Like in the old days, when there were witches and goblins and trolls. But they don't exist. At least, not that we know. But how can you be sure? Maybe they were chased away, but they're still out there in the night, watching us and hating us for taking their world away.
Creepy.
Just imagine that they're waiting for their chance to come back. Submitted for the approval of the Midnight Society, I call this story The Tale of the Phantom Manor.
Nick, Jenny, and Kevin lived in a small town with their parents. There was nothing unusual in their world, till they were sent to spend the weekend with their great Aunt Nora while their parents were away. Okay, guys, this is it.
We're going to stay here? What a dump! Hey, Nick, think she's going to make us mow the lawn? It's like a jungle.
She's a crazy old lady, Kev.
Nick, you haven't seen her since you were little.
I think she's a witch. She even looks like one, remember?
I wish we were staying with Grandpa and Grandma. They're in Florida, remember? So unless Mom and Dad cancel their vacation, I think we're stuck. But there's no lights on. And no car outside.
She doesn't have a car, Kev. She doesn't drive.
Doorbell's broken. Hello? Anybody home?
Maybe we should check around back.
Are you kidding? We need an axe to cut through all these vines.
What's the matter, Kev? Scared?
No. Okay, you go that way, and I'll go around the other. Well, I'm staying here.
Okay, Kevin, I'll meet you in back. If Dracula doesn't nail you on the way.
Hardy har har.
Hey, it's time for you to make a decision. Who do you want to follow? If you want to go with Nick, press 2. Press 3 to follow Kevin. Or press 4 if you want to stay on the porch with Jenny. Press 2, 3, or 4 now. Stay on the porch with Jenny.
Oops.
Press 2, 3, or 4 now. Nick started pushing through the bushes and vines. Kevin was right. It really was a jungle. There were cobwebs everywhere, and creatures that scuttled away under the bushes. He finally made it to the back of the house, where the lawn wasn't too overgrown. But all the windows at the back of the house were dark, just like in front. Nick went to one of them. He stood on tiptoe to look inside, and it was only his own face looking back at him. But something was wrong. It wasn't exactly his reflection. This face was grinning, and the face looked older than Nick. A lot older.
Hey, Nick, are you okay?
Oh yeah, I'm fine. Just thought I saw something, that's all.
You think there are, like, wild animals out here or something? This garden is out of control.
Hey, what's that?
A tennis ball. I found it.
Let me see.
It's mine. Hey, give it back.
You want it? You gotta work for it. Forward pass. Go! Kevin started running across the lawn, and Nick threw the ball, just as Jenny appeared around the corner.
Hello? Did you guys forget me or what?
Football practice. Kevin found an old tennis ball.
Touchdown! Hey, thanks for your concern, big brother.
Like I'm supposed to be your bodyguard?
This place is gross. It's worse here than out front.
Jenny was right. The lawn near the house was normal enough, with a barbecue, sprinkler, and a bird feeder. But further back, it was all overgrown, with strange old statues of lions and wolves. There were tall, scraggly hedges that formed a giant maze. It looked as if anything could be hiding there. Hey, I'm gonna check out that maze. It looks awesome. So what's it going to be? Press 1 if you want to explore the maze with Nick. Press 2 if you'd rather stay with Kevin and Jenny. Press 1 or 2 now.
Sorry, I didn't voice my choices. We'll stay with Kevin and Jenny.
Hey, Jenny, catch! No, don't. I hate catching. Got it. Ah! Hey, what's the matter? Why'd you throw my tennis ball in the bushes? It wasn't a tennis ball, didn't you see? It turned into something horrible, like some kind of skull. What's that? Look, it's the door. Aunt Nora? Is that you? Hello? Kevin, I'm going in. Go ahead. I'm just gonna get my ball.
Time for another choice. Press 2 if you want to go inside with Jenny. Press 3 to go with Kevin to find his tennis ball. Press 2 or 3 now.
3.
Jenny crept into the house. It was dark, and when she felt for a light switch, her hand touched something cold and slimy, like mold.
Oh, gross. Oh, don't sneak up on me, kitty. I thought you were... Aunt Nora, you scared me.
Well, Jenny, I see you found my cat Alice.
Yes, Were you home all this time?
Questions, Jenny. Just follow me. And don't worry about your brothers. They've been taken care of.
Huh?
Just come with me.
Aunt Nora led Jenny through one room after another. They were cluttered with all kinds of junk. There was a crystal ball, a bearskin rug, and millions of framed portraits hanging everywhere. Everything smelled of mothballs. Jenny followed her aunt up a staircase to the second floor, where a yellow bulb glowed dimly in a cobweb-covered iron fixture.
Step in here, dear.
This is a bedroom?
It's the ocean room, Jenny. It's one of my favorites. Don't you agree?
Jenny didn't know what to say. The room was all blue. Walls, ceiling, carpet. The walls were covered with millions of dried fish and shells. There was seaweed heaped in the corners.
Now, why don't you wash up and meet us downstairs for dinner?
Okay, thanks, Aunt Nora. Whoa, Earth Aunt Nora, what's with this room?
But at that moment, Jenny heard something strange.
Aunt Nora, is that you?
Something was lying on Jenny's pillow. It seemed to be glowing, and it made this strange sound. She approached it slowly, and she whirled around. Kevin and Nick were standing there.
Oh! Don't you guys ever knock?
How'd you get up here?
Aunt Nora, She was just here a second ago.
No, she was in my room.
She was with me. How could she be in 3 places at once?
I already told you, she's a witch.
Check out the pillow. Wow.
A huge glowing opal lay on Jenny's pillow. It pulsed with a weird purple light, and that was where the chorus of voices seemed to be coming from.
It's beautiful. Do you think Aunt Nora left it as a present for me?
I don't know. Hey, how come it's making that noise?
It's talking. To me.
The opal glowed brighter. The murmuring grew louder.
Listen. They want me.
Jenny?
Who does?
Jenny, put down the stone.
No! What a terrible time for the speaker to die. What? No! Oh no! Crap! Well, guess what, guys? I guess we're gonna have to carry on without his vocal system.
Jenny? Jenny! Nick! Did you see that? It's like they heard you swallow her.
Oh, okay, don't panic, Kevin. You stay here. Don't touch anything, understand? Don't even move. I'm gonna get Aunt Nora.
Hey, this is a tough choice. Press 1 if you want to stay with Kevin. Press 2 if you want to go find Aunt Nora with Nick. And if you want to find out where Jenny went, press 3. Press 1, 2, or 3. Now.
2.
Press 1, 2, or 3. Now.
Sorry, the tracks are a little out of alignment.
Aunt Nora, where are you?
Nick raced down to the front hall and into the kitchen. Aunt Nora was sitting at the counter.
Aunt Nora, you gotta come. Something happened to Jenny. There was this rack and voices were coming out of it. And they were talking to her. This sounds crazy, but it happened. I swear. Then she disappeared.
I know, Nick. Look, that's when Nick noticed what was in front of Aunt Nora. It was a crystal ball. And deep inside it, Nick could see something moving. It was Jenny. She was in her bedroom upstairs, but something was chasing her. A huge, scaly lizard.
Jenny! What's happening to her?
Your sister needs your help, Nick. Quickly, now repeat these words. Aramen, Binnerim, Carnig, Dorvev.
That's what Jenny said when she disappeared.
Say it, Nick, before it's too late. Aramen, Binnerim, Carnig,
Aramin! Binnerim! Carnig!
Dorvev.
Dorvin! Ah!
Suddenly, Nick was transported to another room with stone walls and flaming torches. There, standing in front of him, was a beautiful young woman dressed in white. There was a white cat with wings perched on her shoulder.
What happened? And who are you?
Before she could answer, Kevin burst into the room.
Kevin, where'd you come from?
And am I glad to see you? But who's she?
I am Serena of the Dark Kingdom.
The Dark what?
You have both made the journey into the Dark Kingdom. Long, long ago, the night creatures were banished here to make the world safe for civilization. This is where trolls, gremlins, and goblins all dwell.
Yeah, and I'm the Tooth Fairy.
Let's listen to her, Nick. You wouldn't believe what I saw upstairs.
13 white witches created the Dark Kingdom. White magic, you know, is magic used for good, not evil. These witches were guardians of the kingdom, so that the night creatures could never again threaten the world. Your Aunt Nora,
You mean you know her?
she is one of those guardians, and she has chosen you to make the journey here.
Oh, great. Well, thanks, but no thanks.
You are here for a reason. There is a special task.
But what about Jenny?
Your first task is to help her. Here, take this.
Lovely, a necklace. Too bad it doesn't go with my sneakers.
It is a silver amulet, Nick. The merest touch of pure silver will destroy your enemies. Kevin, I have one for you, too.
Wow, it's heavy.
Now, you must find your sister. She could be in the basement or the ground floor.
So what's it going to be? Press 1 if you want Kevin and Nick to explore the basement. Press 2 if you want them to stay on the ground floor. Press 1 or 2 now.
1.
The boys ran down to the basement. There was a heavy smell like rotten eggs and a strange wet sound. They opened the door and found themselves in a big circular room. In the center was a bubbling pool full of dark purple liquid. There was another door on the other side, but it was locked.
Now what?
Nick, behind you!
Nick turned and gasped. Something was rising out of the pool. Something huge and scaly, with glittering eyes. It was a serpent with wings and a dragon's head, and dangling from its massive jaws was a bronze key on a chain.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna get it. I almost have it. Ah!
The key was an illusion. It vanished as the beast seized Nick's arm in its jaws and began to drag him into the pool.
Help! Help!
Kevin realized what he had to do. He took the amulet off his neck and hurled it at the serpent. The creature exploded in a puff of red smoke. Kevin picked up the amulet and put it back around his neck.
Nick, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. That was smart thinking, Kev. Thanks.
No. She's behind the door.
But it's locked.
I have a penknife. Maybe we can pick it open.
All right, let's try it. Wow, it must have been ancient. It popped right open.
As the door creaked open, it revealed two passageways, one branching left, the other going right. All right, where should Nick and Kevin go? Press 1 to go left, or 2 to go right. Press 1 or 2 now.
2.
The passageway led them into a huge underground chamber, lined with wooden shelves, like a library.
Hey, wait a minute. Those aren't books on the shelves.
Oh, man. Gross.
On the shelves were jars filled with animal organs, lungs, kidneys, and brains. Across the room, an ancient woman in black was feeding dozens of squealing rats.
Oh, no!
The rats leaped onto the two boys, while the old woman looked on with glee.
Come on, Nick. It's amulet time.
Nick and Kevin lashed out at the squirming rodents with their silver amulets. Each time they made contact with a rat, it disappeared in a wisp of evil yellow smoke.
Nick, hold still. There's one left. On the back of your collar.
Get it off me! Get it off!
It's okay, I'll get it. There.
That was bad. Wow, red. It really freaked me out. Thanks, Kevin.
The old woman glared at them.
Forget about her. We have to find Jenny.
The boys ran into the hallway and heard voices coming from a room at the end. Cautiously, they peered into it. Dozens of hideous creatures were sitting around a great oak table, carved with elaborate scrolls. The giant glowing opal that Jenny had found was in the center of the table, resting in a bed of straw. The creatures seemed to be celebrating, laughing, singing strange songs, and drinking out of pewter goblets. Their leader was a giant lizard, the same one that had chased Jenny out of her room.
Let me out. I gave you your stupid stone. Now let me out of here.
Nick and Kevin heard their sisters cry and looked around. Jenny was at the far end of the room. She'd been locked in a giant metal bird cage, along with some huge black ravens that seemed to be guarding her. But before Nick or Kevin could do anything, one of the ravens swiveled its ugly head around and stared at them with black, shiny eyes. The giant lizard looked up and saw Nick and Kevin.
Seize them.
Suddenly, all the animals were shoving back their chairs and snarling at the human intruders. A creature, like an overgrown armadillo, with fungus all over its body and steely fangs, threw itself at Kevin. Quickly, Kevin held out his shiny amulet, and the beast exploded in a cloud of green gas. Some of the creatures noticed this and drew back, murmuring. But others went wild with anger. They surged forward, snarling and climbing over each other to get at the two brothers. Kevin and Nick began whirling their amulets around their heads, flinching from the stampede of furious creatures. Soon, the room was full of thick, yellow smoke that smelled like rotted meat. It choked and blinded the two boys.
I can't see. Kevin, are you okay?
Don't worry. I'm right next to you.
Suddenly, there was a blinding flash of light.
Quickly, Nick and Kevin, the stone! Get the stone!
Through the smoke, Serena appeared, with her cat on her shoulder. The two brothers looked at each other, then both made a grab for the opal. But, before they could touch it, the giant lizard seized it in his jaws and backed away, hissing, his yellow eyes glittering through the smoke.
Nick, look.
The moon shone down on the garden, revealing a strange and terrifying place. The lawn furniture had turned into giant turtles. Vultures were hanging from the bird feeder, nibbling strands of rotted meat. And the hose to the sprinkler turned into a long green serpent.
Watch out!
The serpent rose up and smashed its head through the window, inches from Nick and Kevin. The lizard tossed the opal into the serpent's gaping jaws. The serpent grinned and pulled back into the garden. The lizard screamed something, then turned and ran out. The rest of the creatures went thundering after it, leaving the two stunned boys behind.
So, you win some, you lose some. Hey, look, Jenny!
Yo, you okay?
I guess, but who's this?
My name is Serena. You may not realize it, my dear, but you are now in the Dark Kingdom.
Yeah, I heard about that. When I was locked up in the basement, I got the whole story. Look, I don't mean to be rude, but don't I know you? You look so familiar.
You see through the surface and sense the inner truth, Jenny. Watch now.
The beautiful young features of Serena shimmered and transformed. Suddenly, Aunt Nora was standing in front of them.
Whoa!
Just as quickly, Nora's features shimmered and changed back into Serena's.
Goodness, do I look so awful in your world?
Aunt Nora, Serena, whatever your name is, can you help us get out of here?
I'm afraid that may not be so simple. You see, we white witches, all good witches, each held a key to the Dark Kingdom. A large, glowing, precious stone which would allow the owner to come here and to leave.
The stone!
Yes, the opal was one of them. There were 13 altogether, one for each witch. But some who used the stones were careless. They came here and allowed their stones to be stolen. And of course, without a stone, they could never leave this place.
You mean we're stuck here? Just because that snake grabbed the opal?
Nick, it's even worse than that. If the dark creatures ever get their claws on all 13 of the stones, they can link them into a magic circle. If that happens, all the walls of the kingdom would come tumbling down. The night creatures would be free to pour back into your world, the real world, and overrun it.
So, can I ask a really dumb question? How many stones do they have?
The opal that Jenny found was the last one. They have all 13 now.
Oh, no! Way to go, Jen. It wasn't my fault.
Please, there's no time to waste in blame. Now, do you see that mountain that lies just beyond the garden?
Where'd that come from? Didn't this used to be a parking lot?
In your world, yes. But here, things are as they were in ancient times. The night creatures dwell at the top of that peak. It is an arduous journey, but it is essential we follow them as quickly as we can.
You mean climb it?
But it's hopeless. I saw that thing move out of here with that stone in its mouth. Why even bother?
Because if we don't get the stone back, we'll be stuck here forever. And if those animals put the magic circle together, it's all over for everyone. Mom and Dad, the whole world. Isn't that right?
Yes, Jenny. I'm afraid it is true.
So, I say we go. Now. All right. I guess I'm ready to.
Yeah, it's not like there's much choice.
The only way out of the garden is through the maze. It's difficult to find the way at night. But little Alice, my faithful cat, will guide us. She already helped you once before, isn't that so, Nick?
Yeah, she led me out of the maze. But how did you know?
Serena was already striding out into the moonlit night, her little white cat still balanced on her shoulder. Jenny went after her, and Nick and Kevin trailed behind. When the four of them reached the maze, the winged cat fluttered down into the grass. Its green eyes began to glow softly, and the pale light showed the way ahead. Quickly and surely, the cat led them through the maze, and within minutes, they found themselves at a tall iron gate. Through the rusted bars, they could see a thick forest, and beyond that, the stony ground sloped up sharply to the jagged peak, looming black against the stars.
For safety, we should split up. Nick and Kevin, when you get through the forest, take the far side of the peak. Jenny and I will go up this side. The night creatures may expect us to follow them, but they are so arrogant and foolish, we may still outwit them. We'll meet at the top.
That forest doesn't look so great.
Kevin, give your amulet to Jenny. Jenny, one touch of this silver charm will obliterate a night creature. That was how Kevin and Nick defended themselves before.
Yeah, I wondered how they did that. Take care of it. It saved my life 1,000,000 times.
Nick and Kevin, go now. And since there's only one amulet between the two of you, be careful.
It's decision time again. If you want to stay with Jenny and Serena, press 1. If you want to go with Nick and Kevin, press 3. Press 1 or 3 now.
Let's stay with Jenny and Serena.
Alice the winged cat jumped back up onto Serena's shoulder. Then, Serena and Jenny plunged into the forest. It was badly overgrown, and they had to squeeze their way past spiny branches and dangling vines. But soon, they came to the edge of a clearing.
Should we go across the clearing? That's the easiest path.
I'm not sure. It's the strangest thing. I can't remember ever seeing this place before.
Well, what do you think? Press 1 if you want Jenny and Serena to go across the clearing. Press 2 if they should circle around it. Press 1 or 2 now.
I get a weird feeling about choice 1, so let's go with 2.
Together, Serena and Jenny made their way out of the forest.
Now I understand. That was the Glade of Forgetfulness.
Oh, yeah.
Its spell erases all memory. Jenny, it's lucky we didn't go across that clearing. We would have forgotten where we were going. We would have forgotten our own names.
What is it, Serena? It's so dark. I can't see. Where are you?
Up here! I'm up here!
A frog, twice the size of a man, had coiled its 20-foot tongue around Serena's waist. Now it was reeling her in like a fish on the end of a line, while her cat clung to her back.
Help me, Jenny! Use the amulet!
Jenny seized hold of the silver amulet and drew her arm back. She had never been good at throwing, and it looked like she would only have one chance. The giant frog's tongue was dragging Serena up towards its gaping mouth. Jenny braced herself, then threw the amulet as hard as she could. For a moment, she was afraid it would fall short, but it struck a glancing blow on the frog's shoulder. The frog collapsed like a huge burst balloon, and Serena tumbled down.
Jenny, thank you. That's twice tonight you saved me. But look, here's the amulet. Don't forget, we may need it again.
The woman, girl, and cat continued on to the edge of the forest. They started climbing to the stony peak to where the creatures had gone.
It's getting foggy.
Yes. Be on your guard, Jenny. This may not be an ordinary mist.
What do you mean?
Many things in the Dark Kingdom have a life of their own. Plants, rocks, even mists. They are enchanted.
It's getting thicker. I can hardly even see you.
Be calm, Jenny. The night creatures have sent this to stop us.
Serena? I can't see anything.
Stay where you are. Just hold up your amulet. It will drive the mist away.
Okay. Here. Oh no! I dropped it. I can't see where it went.
We have no time to search. Alice, show us the way.
The cat's eyes started to glow brightly. The cat was able to cut through the fog, and Jenny and Serena followed to where the air was clear.
We must be careful now, Jenny.
Those boulders. Should we hide there?
I think that's wise.
Serena and Jenny could see the top of the peak. It was shaped like a big shallow bowl, and it was full of night creatures. 12 glowing stones had been laid out in a big circle, with a gap for one more. The giant lizard was holding Jenny's opal up over its head. Meanwhile, at the far edge of the hollow, there were 12 giant cages, with a human being locked in each one.
Who are they?
Those are the human owners of the 12 stones, lured here and imprisoned by the night creatures.
Can't you help them?
That may not be easy.
But we can't just leave them there. What is it, Alice?
She might have enough magical power to open the cages. She's an enchanted creature. If you want to free the prisoners, Jenny, perhaps you should carry Alice down there. Do you think you could do that?
Go down there? I don't know. I suppose I could.
As if she understood what Jenny said, the little white cat fluttered up onto Jenny's shoulders.
But Serena, look! The lizard's about to complete the circle with our stone!
There's hardly any time left. Nick, I know you're over there.
Your voice! I'm hearing your voice in my head!
I am sending a thought message to your brother. Nick, you must seize the stone. Run down there, Nick. It's the only way.
Nick jumped up from where he'd been hiding and tore down the shallow slope with Kevin right behind. Nick ran at the creature, whirling his amulet. But the lizard was already reaching out to place the final stone and complete the circle.
The creatures of the night shall all be free!
No!
The lizard dropped the precious stone, but Nick threw himself forward and caught it before it could touch the ground. The night creatures howled with rage. Nick rolled over and leaped up, ready to run.
Kevin, forward pass. Soft hand. Go.
Nick hurled the stone to Kevin. Then, the great lizard seized Nick in its claws. Nick reached for the amulet and pressed it against the lizard's chest. The beast started dissolving into smoke. It pointed at Kevin.
Get him! He has the stone!
As the lizard fell to the ground, the other creatures turned and started stampeding after Kevin, leaving Nick where he stood.
Now, Jenny, release the prisoners while I go to help Nick and Kevin.
Without another word, Serena darted down into the hollow. Jenny felt frozen with fear. She turned and looked at the prisoners in their cages. She wasn't a hero. She was just a kid. It wasn't fair for Serena to expect her to do this. She could get herself killed. In any case, it was a cat that had the magical powers. Why couldn't the cat go down there on its own? If you think Jenny should play it safe and send Alice the cat to open the cages without her, press 1. But if you think Jenny should risk her life and go with the cat, press 2.
Go
Press
with
1
the poor
or 2
kitty.
now.
Okay, Jenny, you can do it. Just be cool. You ready to rock, Alice?
Jenny ran toward the prisoners as Serena gathered the 12 stones. Meanwhile, the creatures were chasing Kevin, shouting for him to surrender the opal. Jenny ran to the first cage and stopped, not knowing what to do. The cat on her shoulder started to purr gently. Suddenly, the cage doors sprang open. Jenny hurried to the rest of the cages till all 12 prisoners had been released. Jenny led them back to Serena, but Serena didn't seem pleased to see them at all.
So you're finally free, thanks to this brave young girl. But don't think this means you can take back your stones. You were supposed to guard them with your lives. Through your weakness and foolishness, the night creatures almost escaped from the Dark Kingdom. Be gone, back to your homes in the real world.
Serena started chanting something in a strange language. The stones made a shrill whining sound, and suddenly, all 12 prisoners vanished in a flash of brilliant light.
Quick, Jenny, Nick, we must help your brother now. This way.
Serena scooped up the 12 stones in a robe.
Is it true, Jen? You really got all those guys out of jail?
That's right. Me and Alice.
Not bad for a wimpy kid sister.
Look over there. Kevin still has the opal.
Kevin was weaving and dodging, leading the creatures on a desperate chase across the rocks. The dark creatures were gaining though. Several were almost close enough to touch him.
The amulet! He doesn't have the amulet anymore.
Kevin, you can give them the stone. I have the other 12. It's all right.
He's not listening.
Can't he just use it to escape back to our world?
He doesn't know how. Kevin, just throw the stone down the slope and the creatures will leave you alone.
Come on, Kevin. Throw it away.
He's not gonna do it. He only has to prove himself.
Kevin!
Come on, you idiot. Throw the stone before you get killed.
What should Kevin do? Should he throw the stone? Or do you think he should hold on to it so that Serena can take all 13 stones out of the Dark Kingdom? It's a tough choice. If Kevin should throw the stone, press 2. If Kevin should hold on to the stone, press 3. There are your 2 choices. Press 2 or 3.
Throw it. Throw it.
Kevin hesitated. He glanced each way, then hurled the glowing stone down the steep hillside as hard as he could. It was a brilliant dot of light, soaring through the black air, finally disappearing among the rocks. The creatures let out a shriek. They went tumbling after it, ignoring Kevin completely. He watched them a second, then turned and climbed back.
I'm sorry, but one of them almost had me.
You did the right thing. If you'd waited any longer, they would have caught you. They might have hurt you or held you hostage.
You did good, Kev.
Yeah? You mean it?
Quickly now, you 3. Gather round.
Serena placed the 12 stones on the ground. She made the 3 kids link hands with her, forming a circle. She started to chant something in a strange language. The stones glowed even brighter, pulsing in the darkness. There was a humming sound that grew louder and louder. And then, suddenly, the mountain was gone. Nick, Kevin, and Jenny found themselves in Aunt Nora's living room. There was a cheerful fire in the old fireplace, and a clock ticking on the mantel.
Look, we're back.
But where's Serena?
Nobody here by that name, dear. Only me, your old Aunt Nora. Now, who wants some cookies?
What happened? Was that some kind of a dream?
Well, look on the table, Nick. All of you.
The stones!
See how they glow? Do you think that's part of the dream as well?
They're beautiful. beautiful, aren't they?
They certainly are. Why don't you take one, Jenny?
Really? You mean for keeps?
For keeps. You too, Kevin. And Nick, choose one for your own.
Wow. Mine feels warm. Thanks, Aunt Nora, but I don't know if I really want this thing.
I'm sorry, Nick, but you must keep it, and keep it carefully. All of you, listen now. These stones are the keys to the Dark Kingdom. Never forget that. If you ever hear a voice whispering to you, tempting you to return, don't listen. You too might end up like those poor, foolish ones in cages on top of that mountain.
Yeah, except they aren't there anymore.
Yeah, 'cause Jenny set them free. I guess I did. I never thought I could do stuff like that.
Exactly. No one really knows what he or she can do until the moment of peril.
When can we go back? I had a blast.
Yes, you did, didn't you? And you learned a valuable lesson, too, throwing that stone away. Sometimes the best thing to do is not act like a comic book hero. And you too, Nick. I think you learned something, too.
I did?
You learned to help others. I think that's something to be proud of.
Well,
Anyway, enough patting ourselves on the back. It's bedtime, children, and I'm sure your parents wouldn't approve if they knew I'd allowed you to stay up so late.
Bedtime?
like they'd really be thrilled if they knew you'd taken us to some kingdom full of monsters trying to tear us to pieces.
Oh, Nick, I didn't do it on purpose.
But you must have. Right, Aunt Nora? Yeah, I mean, you left the stone right on my pillow. No way I could have missed it.
Well, I must say, I was glad to have some help in the Dark Kingdom, and I don't know where else I would have found it. And maybe it's not such a bad idea to have young people like you learning how to take care of yourselves instead of wasting all your time hanging around the shopping mall.
Well, I'm glad we went. Just remember, Nick, I saved you in that place. I saved your life.
Hey, I did my share, too.
And me, too.
All right, it's time for bed. Remember, guard those stones carefully, all of you. And don't let me catch any of you reading with a flashlight under the covers.
So, if you ever run across a glowing stone that makes a murmuring sound, and if you get the temptation to sing along, maybe you better think twice.
Unless you have a liking for giant lizards and demons.
So ends the tale of the Phantom Manor. Or at least this version of it.
If Jenny, Nick, and Kevin had made different decisions, things might have worked out better. Or maybe not. It could have been worse. Do you want to find out for sure? In that case, you're going to have to rewind the tape and play it again. But whatever you decide, we're glad you could join us.
See you next time.
And there it is. I hope all of you enjoyed this video. As usual, like, subscribe, comment, click the notification bell so you will know whenever I upload new content. God bless, and I will see you in the next video.